Thank you for having me today. Today we will discuss how when we change our words, we change our outlook. A little about me. I identify first and foremost as a wife and mother. Secondly, I love talking to women and bringing them together. One way I do that is through essential oils and teaching people, often with oils, how to green up their homes. Other things I love include reading art and, of course, my bullet journal. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. This was hard to consider. I like to think that I choose to operate in joy and with love, but when I'm faced with doing the dishes, the kiddo wants to watch TV or play with his computer, and the husband is in bed, I'm not feeling very loving towards those dishes. Does that mean then that since I don't show up with love for the dishes, that when I'm serving a potential client for my oils or networking, that I also don't show up with love? I want to say no, because not fair, but truly I think the answer has to be yes. So I'm going to pause and reflect and invite you to do the same. The way you do anything is the way you do everything. I think we can take a few things for granted. I bet every single one of us smiles on the phone when we are talking. We know that smile is heard on the other side, and we want to showcase joy on the phone. I think we know the importance of not slouching when speaking for the image it projects and how it makes us feel. And I think we understand the power in dressing in our power and how that showcases how awesome we are. Have we, though, considered our speech? First, let me be clear. I am not interested in shaming you into changing anything. Second, I am most concerned with raising awareness and inviting you to make a change. How often do you say any of these things? But I can't afford it. There's not enough time. That's the way things are. Just. Yeah, right. Some of these have been showing up on business articles and the likes of LinkedIn, and generally this is what they point to. But is like an excuse. It negates the previous. For example, I hear so often, so and so is nice, but I can't afford it, there's not enough time, that's just the way things are. These are all limiting beliefs that usually point to fear. Just is a word that often gets used with women, and it's a way that we make ourselves small in the presence of others. Yeah, right. To me, that always means disbelief, like there's no hope or another limiting belief. This topic has been burning on my mind for at least 2 years. I've become kind of obsessed with what we say and how it affects our outcomes. As I've raised my own awareness of how my limiting beliefs have affected my success, I become even more aware of them when it's my mother, my sister, or any other woman in my network. And I want us to realize we don't have to have it that way. We don't have to let our limiting beliefs get in the way of what we want and deserve. The last 2 months have shown me again and again that others are thinking like this. So let's break the mold together and change our words. I'd like to invite you to switch up your speech. Pick one thing to work on for the next month. Do you find yourself saying, "Yeah, right," in disbelief often? If so, change it up. Try, "Yeah, maybe," instead, and note the possibilities that emerge. Do you say "but" when offered an opportunity? Try "yes and" instead. That might look like, "I'd like you to come to our evening event and present," and your instinct might be, "I would, but I have to be with my family." Don't get me wrong, family is really important. What if it looked like this? "Yes, and it's important that I have my family time, so I'll need to leave by 7:30. Would that work for you?" So that sounds all well and good, right? I know I always can hear the difference, like when smiling on the phone. But if you're even a little skeptical, like me, I bet you want proof. One study in the Netherlands found that women suffering with anorexia literally saw themselves larger than they were. They would shift their bodies to get through a space that they didn't need to shift. Through a series of exercises, the doctors were able to help them see themselves as they were, and they used self-talk. They have theorized that self-talk helps rewire how their brains worked. In this rewiring, your confidence grows, you may suffer less from depression, and you decrease stress. Athletes have been using self-talk for a long time. I played tennis in high school, so 20 years ago. So this has been going on for at least 20 years, likely a lot longer. We did a series of exercises before the games where we visualized perfect serves, returns, etc. On days we did the visualization exercises, things clicked better for me. Part of this visualization was repeating sayings or mantras over and over, like, I am physically capable of returning this serve. I have the power. And we can do it in our businesses too. Something like, Michelle, you deserve to make money doing the things you love, and people want to talk to you. What doctors and scientists are finding is that our brains resonate more with self-talk that uses our names, lends to the positive, though not too positive so we get overconfident, and ultimately it all gives us confidence. So with your business, what do you want? Do you want more clients? Do you want more profits? Do you want more creative work? When this presentation is over, I'd like to invite you to take 5 minutes. Grab a piece of paper or a note card, and on the top of one side of a note card, write visualization, and on the other side, write daily mantra or affirmation. I like to think of mantras or affirmations as a type of prayer, the asking kind of prayer. Take 5 minutes, and on the visualization side of the card, write down how you imagine doing well at some part of your business. Maybe it's making a call or giving an amazing presentation. Write what works for you. On the other side of the card, I want you to write a mantra to match your visualization. So if you choose a call, maybe your mantra is, Michelle, you want to pick up that phone and make the call because your next client is on the other end of the line. Or it's more like an affirmation. Michelle, you deserve to have clients because you show up to serve. One of the things I read is that using you or your name has better results than using the I. Make sure you set a timer and just end at the end of 5 minutes. When you're done, ask yourself, how was that? Did that feel good, strange? Was it something you've done before? And then I want you to answer this question. How open are you to incorporating this step into your day? That is daily mantras and visualization. I hold my vision big, but I recognize that it's important to start small. So for now, I want you to be aware of how you talk to yourself. Maybe you note it in your bullet journal for a week or a month. I'd like to invite you to choose one thing to change. I've found, for example, that I say but a lot more than I was aware of. So I'm going to work on the yes and use it as an invitation to bring up boundaries important to me. Remember, as Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. Thank you so much for listening to me today. You can connect with me at www.michellellaslie.com.